Does your iRacing car currently look like it was sponsored by Minecraft Paint and poor decisions? We got
Yes,
good
it
news
does.
for that. Kobe's does. We got good news for that, though. Race Wrap Guy can fix that. With real-world NASCAR wrap design experience, Race Wrap Guy creates clean, aggressive, professional custom wraps that actually look like they belong on a Sunday broadcast instead of a back row rookie lobby. And because we like y'all, listeners of the Cool Down Lap podcast get $10 off any iRacing wrap. Just mention the podcast when you order. And if you have a real race car that needs to look fast even when it's sitting still, you'll get $100 off any real race wrap design too. Just mention this Cool Down Lap podcast. The checker flag has flown and the race is over, and now we're going to rant about it. My name is RB Turner, and here with me is, say your name, Colby.
Colby.
He's Colby Peterson. And we're here with our AMP Racing League's newest all-star in Steven Laskowski, winning the all-star race from Nashville Fairgrounds last night. How are you doing, Steven?
Doing all right. How you guys doing?
Pete. I think it'd be fair to say he didn't just win the all-star race.
Well, he something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, speaking of, I have this little thing. Steven Laskowski showed up to the AMP Racing Cup All-Star race at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway and basically treated it like a Sunday drive if Sunday drives included absolutely demolishing the competition. He started on the pole, did not have to run the heat races, and went into the feature fully rested and had everybody else a little tired and questioning their life choices. Once the green flag dropped, he led 60 out of 60 laps, which is more or less a follow the leader exercise where nobody could actually follow the leader. At one point, he was so far ahead that the rest of the field probably needed a GPS just to find him. Restarts, it didn't matter. Inside lane, outside lane, grocery store checkout lane. Laskowski cleared everyone like it was a Black Friday and he had a head start. His secret weapon? Tire management. While everyone else was out there cooking their tires like overdone burgers, he was gently slow cooking it to perfection. They cruising away while the rest of the field slid around like they were on ice. At the end of it all, he wins, grabs 15 bonus points, and casually says the race was uneventful, which is hilarious because for everyone else, it was a 60-lap stress dream where they never even got to see the guy who won. He's now heading into Bristol Motor Speedway, feeling confident, calling the cars sketchy but fun, which in racer code stands for this is either going to be awesome or a complete disaster for everyone not named Steven Laskowski. Did you like that?
Nice.
That's my little, I don't know if you could call it a, what do you call it?
I like it.
It certainly worked out just fine.
All right. But that was, what a performance, man. What a
It was
performance.
an ass whooping.
Thank you.
Let's start calling it what it is, an absolute ass whooping.
Well, that's what I just read my entire thing about. I wanted to make sure there was something to talk about, so I gave us almost 3 minutes solid of
Nice. Hell yeah.
But yeah, dude, the green flag fell and you just took off.
Yeah, I was glad that people were able to be side by side immediately behind me.
Yeah.
Pulled that quick 3/4 tenths of a second lead, and then I just kind of took it easy. Laid off really easy, tried not to hear those tires much, and waited for Easton to kind of creep up towards me, and then I put a little bit more gas into it. And I think that was it. Just being able to save tire that little bit of time was enough to seal the deal.
Yes, it was.
Now, if we had some cautions, might have got a little dicey. My bumper would have been there for people, so
I was screaming for a caution about halfway through because I was working my way up, and I was running according to my crew chief, I was running about 1/10 of a second faster than you were at that particular moment. I don't know if you, at that time, maybe you was toying with everybody. Here, come get me. Yeah. Well, never mind. doing a Nate Big Art thing. You know, he likes to do that. But, you know, I'm faster than the leaders, but I'm stuck behind Roberge, Davis, Mike Daniels, and I can't fucking go anywhere.
Yeah, it was when I did some practices. I tried multiple different lanes, and I knew right away that it was going to be a kind of a one-lane track. If you went too high, you're going to tear them up too fast.
Yeah.
Low, too bumpy. It was hard
bumpy.
It's too hard to get a run out. So really, that second lane was key. Just kind of running that first seam.
Yeah, just above the first seam is where I like to be.
Yeah.
And I tried to do a little bit of a diamond, almost like a Darlington kind of effect.
Yeah.
I would go in and drift up a little bit and try to enter a little lower. But
So you get that straight off.
yeah, that's what I was trying to do. And it was working for me. I mean, you were fastest in practice. I was second fastest in the first practice. I think Ethan was second fastest in the night of having to race my way in, so I had to start in the back.
Well, let's talk about that first heat for a minute.
It was heartbreaking. I had
So-
that one.
You had a 2-second lead when the
Yeah.
first caution came out,
Something like that.
and then for whatever reason you couldn't restart to save your fucking life.
Well, I could restart. Well, Davis had the advantage, you know, because he was the leader, you know, so he's going to take off, and I'm gonna restart, you know, however I'm gonna restart. That first restart, you know, was kind of all right, and I think I could have probably gotten him, but then the caution came back out almost immediately, and then I got I forgot to put it back into second gear, and I'm in fifth gear on the start, and yeah, that kind of that
No, I think you definitely had him on the first restart, but once I saw that second restart, I was like, you pulled a Colby. You left it in fifth gear trying to coast around.
Well, everybody's done that.
Yeah. I hate it when it happens. And I didn't even want to shift down neither, because I was like, if I shift down, I'm just going to spin the tires and wreck everybody. So, I mean, I might as well just leave it where it's at and hope for the best. Hope Pop don't wreck me. But it looked horrible, because I had Dove, my teammate, starting, you know, on the outside of me, you know, so it almost looked like I was trying to give him a lane to get in, and then I was going to take off behind him. This is what it almost looked like. So I had to make sure Pop understood that that's not what I was trying to do. But luckily, he didn't even think that was what I was trying to do, which is good. But I felt like it might look kind of malicious, really.
But you could tell instantly you were in the wrong gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching the TV one or something, and you could tell instantly. It's like you didn't go nowhere.
Right? How y'all like Dove's move at the end of that thing?
I mean,
I
he's got to learn how to. He's got to do a better job at doing a bump and run.
Well, I can say this on here because I said it to him already. I was like, "What'd you even do that for?" I said, "Well, you were in it. You were in it. I was most likely going to beat Pop, I think."
Was that before or after he wrecked off your nose, or you spun him, whichever happened first?
Well, Dove got into Davis, and he spun himself out, and I went around.
Was that what happened with you and Pop?
Yeah, I went around Dove, and I guess Pop thought that I was collected in it, so he came up not knowing I was there, and yeah.
Nope. Just a dove without feathers on that last lap.
That's what that was. I was like,
he's the only guy that I've seen trying to take a pass on the 8th in those heats.
That didn't work either.
No, it didn't.
Nope,
it did
not even close.
Not even a little bit.
But Dove was Dove.
Moving on.
It's fun. Second heat race, Mike Daniels won the second heat race. Not really much to talk about.
No,
he left him.
He did.
Yeah,
Mikey drove a hell of a deal.
I was kind of worried there for a second. I'm like, oh man.
Those first couple laps, I was like, Clint is hauling ass.
Oh yeah, Clint hit the wall though.
Mike just kept in it. Clint hit the wall. Tell you who surprised me in that deal really the most was Jamal. I mean, he was there running
he did
super steady, consistent laps. And, I mean, I don't think he put a tire off of the line he was looking for, to be honest with you.
I think
once he kind of settled into that situation, where he was going to make it in, he ran a great heat race.
Well, if you look at Jamal's I rating, it's like close to 2,500, which I didn't even realize. But I noticed just as last night, I'm like, wow, he's kind of up there. He's a lot higher than I thought he was. So, I mean, I think he's a good driver. He has a lot of potential, I think. He's had a lot of unfortunate things happen with him in the season, but I think
he's probably as bad as any of us, that just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Could be.
That happens a lot.
At least that's how I feel about him. He's always raced me really well and super clean, but I also have been known to not really race people. I like to get out of the way so that I don't end up in the middle of something I don't want to be in. But No, he ran a great race. And I mean, there was a minute where, like, there towards the end, RB, when you and Davis and Roberge and Mike were going at it, where he was really showing a couple of flashes, Mike Daniels was. And the longer I watched it, the more I was like, okay, RB has the best tires in this group. And he is probably cussing so loud right now.
I was trying so hard to get by. I think I don't know if I had the best tires. At the time, I probably did. But if there's one thing that I could change about last night, knowing now what I didn't know then, I would have pitted on that, one of those, that second early caution.
Yeah.
Because
7 laps.
something happened in front of me. And the only reason I say I would have pitted is because I didn't have anywhere to go. All I could do, I locked it up and I spun the car. It's the only thing that I could do. And if you spin the car out, you lose a whole bunch of tire right there. So I would have pitted and changed my tires, but I was expecting more cautions, but it just didn't happen.
I thought for sure with the bumps and as much people were spinning out in practice, I thought for sure we were going to have cautions. That's why I didn't pit. I was worried about track position because I knew it was going to be hard to pass.
It was.
So I was like, maybe if we had caution after 20 laps, maybe I would have pitted and maybe brought the whole field in with me. But
I think everybody would have pitted at 20.
Yeah.
Because we had 2 sets of tires with 60 lap race, 20, 40, 60. I'm thinking 20 laps would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, come about lap 30 or so, I'm like, man, we kind of need a caution, because the race was for third. You and Ethan left everybody.
How far was third, Steven?
At the time, I was thinking it was well. We ended up finishing like 5 seconds behind
Gotcha.
you. Yeah. So, and that was with all of us battling. So I don't know if we would have been able to straighten out and just if Roberge and Davis would have got the fuck out of the way.
Oh,
me and Mike, we cleared everybody and Mike drove away from me. So, and I think it was because I had spun out, and maybe if I wouldn't have spun myself out, I probably would have had about equal tires as he did.
What do you think a spin out's worth on a short track? 8 to 10% on your tires?
Possibly. A place like Nashville Fairgrounds, maybe even more.
Maybe. It depends. Slow speed, maybe 6%, maybe.
Right.
But still,
it costs a lot though.
It's also unbalances them compared to where you were.
Right.
So it always will change. You'll drive different. I've noticed if you spin and let them cool back down, it still will drive different. It still will be not as good as it can be. But yeah, if you're in the back and you spin, get those tires.
Yeah.
Even if it's you lose 2-3 spots, whatever, get those tires, fill it up.
So I think that's been the interesting part about talking with like you and Aaron over the last couple of weeks about, strategies and pitting and fuel and stuff like that. Because, you and Aaron both this season have made decisions that have probably cost you the race. But on the flip side, you've also made decisions that have kept the race in your hands, right? Like I think it was Aaron, was it Texas? Literally the week before, he's like, I've never had any luck at Texas, And then he goes out and we have a caution with 10 to go. And then it was just caution after caution after caution.
Yeah, he stayed out.
And he stayed out and ended up winning the race,
I wish I would have stayed out. Because I got caught in the next couple cautions.
Yeah.
I ended my night.
Yeah. Now it's been interesting, but I think the fun thing about talking with you guys about strategy is, as a 15th to 20th place guy, like you said, it's really not that big of a deal. If you come down and take gas or you come down and get tires maybe a little earlier than everybody else, depending on the way the cautions fall, it's completely changed my races a couple of times,
For sure.
I ended up with a good finish. I think it was, what was it, Michigan? Just taking care of my stuff and let's be honest, coasting the whole time. Or it might have been Texas. I can't remember. But anyway, no, it was Texas because Michigan, we all came down with 10 to go and got tires. And then Steven Laskowski and Josh Barr and a few other folks went 4 wide and it ruined the race for just about everybody behind them.
What was that? Was that Michigan?
Yeah.
I know what you were talking about because I was right behind it. And that's when Pop had his moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when he came?
Pop looked
That's
forward
when
and
Pop
said,
hit you.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knew. I don't know if he just didn't know you were there or what. It was probably a situation like what he did with me.
And then he went low too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there
then
there was
he
3
wrecked
cars
everybody.
trying to fit into a lane and a half off of your guys' 4 wide.
Yeah.
But
I think he got scared.
Some situations you want to back out of. Sometimes if you back out of, you're not going to ever get back by them.
man, it was
Just
10 to
because
go
of the air.
and y'all had fresh tires.
Yeah.
And
Late
I think a
race
lot
deals
of
like
us
that.
know that, like, if you bunch our group up with 10 to go, shit's gonna get
gets tight.
interesting.
It gets very tight.
I don't think there's a single racer in our league that can't take new tires, go out, and run with everybody for a lap or two. Now, naturally, the longer a run goes and the lines and the way that people drive, that's where I think the spread really starts to happen. But I really don't know that, like, you know, when we do have a late race caution, you know, anywhere between 15 and 10 to go, and people have a set of tires left, it's going to get interesting, because I think that what that does is everybody on the lead lap anyway gets a renewed sense of, like, hey, man, like, I come in here, get tires, pick up 3 or 4 spots on the restart, and then another caution comes out. Now I'm in 4th with brand new tires. The leaders are still not going to pit because they don't want to give up that track position. And then you put yourself in 4th, 5th position on a restart with brand new tires and a legitimate shot.
For sure.
And I think we've seen that work for people in the past in this league. And that's the fun part about our league is there is a pretty vast range of talent, but when you put everybody in a perfect scenario, like 10 laps to go and brand new tires, and you can't burn them off in 10 laps, I think that brings a lot more guys to the table.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that it matters. Aaron or Steven still win every time, but those opportunities are there.
I mean, I will say, I don't want anybody to let you give them too big of a head, you know. Aaron is definitely beatable. Steven's beatable, you know.
Definitely. I make a lot of mistakes.
But I mean, you guys are tough to beat. I will use some of the hardest racers that I've ever had to try to beat. Most of the time I am unsuccessful in my venture in trying to do so. But I have done it. But I will say this All-Star Wood, this is probably, thinking about it, this is probably single-handedly the most important race of the season, because the winner gets 15 bonus points.
Everybody else don't.
And that's playoff points.
playoff.
And now you get, isn't it 5 playoff points for one win and for any other win?
I believe.
I think it's 5.
It is.
So this is the All-Star race is basically the equivalent of winning 3 races, you know, all tied up into one race. Nobody else gets anything.
Mm-hmm.
So now we see what Matt Allen did last season, and I'm not trying to put Matt Allen in any kind of thing like calling him a bad driver. He's a great driver. We know he's capable of winning. We've seen him do it. I wouldn't necessarily put him in the same caliber as like a Steven Laskowski, but
well, at the end of the day, last season he made it into the Final Four.
He made it
3
into
points.
the Final Four based on winning that All-Star race,
and he took second.
And he ended up finishing second the whole dang thing. He damn near won the championship just based on that. So the All-Star race is a big deal, and
it is.
I mean, not that I guess what I'm getting to is I was kind of happy to see that you won it instead of like Ethan or Mike Daniels or Davis or anybody. I mean, to think about. At the start of the season, we all have our projections of who's going to be in the Final Four. And I'll be honest, Aaron Ryan and Steven Laskowski were 2 of my picks that are going to be in the Final Four this season. You know, and that's just basically, you know, those points that you didn't necessarily need to get there, you got them anyway. And now I don't have to worry about somebody else having to do that. I don't have to race Matt Allen or anybody.
I think too I think back to like the what was it, Mexico or Brazil or whatever that atrocity of a street course was. This probably, I mean, you still finished second there, which is great, but you missed out on the winning points. And basically what this does is it goes ahead and takes that race and, maybe another race or two that you feel got away from you, and it takes those, and really, I mean, you damn near consider those a dropped race without even using a provisional or anything, right? Because now those results go away, right? Like RB said, it really is the equivalent of winning, 3 races, and with you already having a regular season win, you're locked in, to the top 16. So yeah, I mean, you have a 15 point
something
buffer.
kind of catastrophic would have to happen to you for you not to be racing for a championship.
Yeah, those final couple races, I would have to really flop on my face.
Yeah,
right.
Which is always possible.
I mean,
It is iRacing.
It's always
can happen.
possible, man.
Somebody might be like, I think I'm just going to take care of this guy right now, which I would never do. But I don't know some of my other nicer competitors.
And if I can give any advice on
say it
short
with your
tracks,
chest, RB. Don't be tailing off like that.
Yeah, I don't know some you might know some of the people I might be thinking about.
That's the beauty of our league, and again, the beauty of iRacing in general, right? Is it's easy for us to sit here in April and be like, "Yeah, Steven, congrats on your Final Four appearance." But our
Yeah.
championship's not till the end of August.
That is true. I mean, we just it's projections, But Steven, you were about to give some advice.
Yeah, I was saying for short tracks, so I've really been working on my road course racing, GT3s, really kind of refining all the aspects of road course racing, trail braking, and all that stuff. And when it comes to these short tracks, if you are off the brake and not on the gas, something is wrong. So you really I trail braked so long into that corner. If I could show you the graph, telemetry, it was such a slow decline. And then you'll see as soon as I get off the brake, I go back to at least 50%, get back on the gas. Try to get to that because when you're coasting, you're losing time.
Yeah.
So if
I
you can
think the
really
only
try
I
to,
agree with that. I agree with that. That's you could say more, not even just for short tracks. I try to do that
mile and a
kind of
half.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I think the only short track that I could even, and this is just because I actually listened to Clint Boyer for 2 minutes yesterday. I think the only short track that you could make that argument at is actually our next track, which is Bristol, right? I don't know that you want to be on the brake other than that initial kind of stab going into a corner at Bristol, unless you want to share some wisdom. But
it's part of tire saving because I'm using the brakes to turn the car.
Especially if you have more rear brake.
Say Martinsville. When I'll point the car just a little bit, get on the brakes, and sometimes I have to turn right as the car is going left. And then as I start trail braking, then I'll turn into it. So really, I'm putting a lot of pressure on that right rear. So I am on the brakes kind of pretty long because I want to use that as much as possible. So if you stab the brakes and you're still straight, then you got to turn. You're putting everything on that right front, and you're going to destroy that right front.
So my question would be then, what do you value more, the turn out of the right front or the drive off out of the right rear?
I mean, turn in, because these cars, you would destroy the right front more than the right rear. Other cars, it really depends on tracks, on what I would prefer.
I mean, let's make sure not arguing with you at all, right?
Oh, no, I'm not.
I'm in literally 27th in points right now. I'm
he's
definitely
not the guy to argue. He's not the guy to argue with when it comes to that.
Simply just trying to ask a question, right? Because I would eventually like to run relatively competitive with some of you guys in the Sunday league. We get in some other cars and I run relatively well, and I have fun and things like that. But then for some reason we get in these cup cars on Sunday evenings, and Iowa is a great, I practiced Iowa on every track percentage I could. I tried a couple of different, steering, the rack or pinion or whatever it is. I tried 3 or 4 different one of those, and I got to the point where I was staying pretty consistent. And then I get into qualifying and I qualify 24th, right? And I immediately go into tire save and some other stuff like that because I'm like, okay, the top 10's out of the question now, so all I've got to do is just try to maximize the best finish I can. And it worked. I mean, I ran basically the same race you did, just a lap and a half fucking slower. And so in my mind, right, I'm better than that. Not to call RB out, but RB's told me I'm better than that. Steven, you've told me I'm better than that. But I don't understand where the fucking disconnect is in my own brain because I'm not changing anything. I get into practice sessions. I run AI practice sessions so that I can understand a little bit of aero. I sure the weather might be different in some of the AI stuff because I'm not smart enough to put it together myself. But that's where my frustration builds in is, I practice, I look at the tires. I do a lot of things now that I've never done. I've always just loaded in on Sunday at practice and thought, all right, this is my first lap at Nashville Super Speedway, and season 2, Nashville Super Speedway, second lap, drive in as hard as I can, and I doored the shit out of Justin Zukic on accident. And a couple of dudes in the chat with me were like, yeah, you probably ought to stay away from him the rest of the race because that looked pretty egregious. So I make it a point to practice and do a lot of things better now, but I don't understand where that disconnect is from all those practice sessions during the week when the tire model's the same. I'm using the league, and I practice in multiple sessions. I adjust the usage. I mean, I did 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way to 75 just because I wasn't sure what we were going to have, you know? So, you know, when we talk about something like Bristol, I agree with you. Turn in is imperative. But I've also never heard somebody using the brakes at Bristol before either. You know,
I use the brakes at Bristol.
lift it
That's
the
why I'm
finish
so
line.
slow.
Oh, you're gonna with the
Everybody goes
new
around me.
horsepower, you have to.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you
always just
can
lifted at the
on
finish
fresh
line.
tires, but you also are gonna tear your shit up.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna say
'Cause
for
you're
the
gonna
last
slow
3
it
or 4
down with
times
the
I've raced
tires.
Bristol in a couple different cars, I've lifted at the finish line, gotten about a third of the way through the corner, and then you can almost stand on it. You know, you might feather it a little bit when you kind of level back out coming out of the corner, but I don't know.
If
I
you
guess
want
that'd
good
be
Bristol knowledge, Colby, go back and watch our race from season 1, where I started on the pole. Okay, I led some laps, and then all of a sudden, Grijalva starts coming up through the field. He passes me, and then he laps everybody. He laps the whole field except for like 1 or 2 people because he knew how to drive it, and none of the rest of us really did. So yeah. If you think you don't need brakes at Bristol, I guarantee you he was using them. He was even shifting sometimes.
Yeah, I did
weird.
some practice sessions in the officials this week just to get around some cars, and it definitely drives different than last time I drove.
I heard it drives. I heard it drives terribly.
It's
Like,
sketchy. It's sketchy on the way out for sure. Yeah,
I haven't tried yet, so this will be interesting.
Extra power, and then trying to get in and stick the bottom with that little extra speed definitely makes it a little bit harder too.
I don't know if I'm looking forward to this.
I think you saw that in some of the cars yesterday, though, too, in the actual cup race. You know, I think the less downforce and the more horsepower, I think it did what it was supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, God forbid you spent 500 laps at Bristol and all just to watch Ty Gibbs win. I think you saw plenty of that, and I think going into Bristol, there's a stark contrast between being fast and then surviving the attrition.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, my best finish at Bristol ever is 6th place in an Xfinity car, and I finished 4 laps down, but I finished in 6th place because I kept it out of the wall.
I won an NIS race at Bristol once.
And Mike Daniels won that race that I finished 6th in.
Well,
I had a photo finish with Barr in season 2.
Yeah,
I usually have good races at Bristol. I haven't tried it this recent update. Hopefully, I mean, it's if I can survive, if we can survive, and you know that's half the battle of Bristol right there is survival. So
nighttime is a good thing too.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways to approach a Bristol race, and that's either be really, really fast like Steven and stay ahead of all of it, or be really good at paying attention to what's going on in front of you and seeing stuff before it happens, you know?
Yeah, it's so hard to slow down at that track too without losing it because of the banking and then just how fast you're going.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. But I mean, Bristol historically, even in AMP, has a tendency to run green.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we'll probably have a few cautions, but I almost expect green flag pit stops, to be honest. So
at least we're not doing the single pit road.
We're not?
I'm pretty sure it's dual. I think it's dual. I think that's what the session is.
That'll be good. Just have to remember which side I'm on.
Well, we should all be on the same side, right?
Theoretically.
If we get a semi-full field, because I think fairly certain there's 20 aside.
Yeah, it's like 20,
or is it 22 aside?
It's somewhere between 20 and 25. I don't know.
Not sure.
I think if there's more than if we have more than 25, I know there's only 25 on one side. It's not more than 25 on one side. So if we have more than 25, then somebody's pitting on the other.
He's a lone guy.
I would almost be okay with that though.
Yeah, have your own pit stall.
Yeah, you ain't gotta worry about.
I think it'd be great in a green flag run, but I mean, under caution, it's like the dual pit road either way, right? So I think under a green flag run, it'd probably be great to have an entire pit road to yourself. I think it would minimize mistakes. Yeah,
you got it all
and
to
I think
yourself.
I don't. Bristol's not the world's hardest track to enter pit road. I think the hardest part, like Steven said, it's hard to slow down at Bristol. So I
Yeah.
think the hardest part would just kind of be coming down off the banking and getting down to speed. Because I think it's only 30, 35 miles an hour pit road speed.
35.
Yeah, 35. And I have a problem with keeping pit road speed. So I hate going around the corner and then I'm constantly looking at the
Yeah.
speed. And next thing I know, I'm going 2 miles an hour too slow.
I do that too.
I swear, every
Yeah.
time Aaron is behind me, I swear he's going a mile an hour faster than me. And I'm like, how are you catching me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm at 35.
He's right on the edge, like right when it tells you to slow down. He's learned to just back that up just a little bit so that you can go 36 and it not tell you to slow down yet.
I've noticed.
I've been working really hard on actually learning the lights on the dash rather than looking at that speed box, because I haven't adjusted my UI. I haven't moved that thing down to where it's actually in a view that you would naturally look at. Like mine's still kind of up here, if you will.
Yeah, so is mine.
Yeah, I moved mine down.
But
I moved it down by the lights.
I have spent a little bit of time trying to learn how to run it in second gear, look at the lights, do all that stuff, and I think it's helped a couple of times, but I think other times those lights will betray you just like they betray the actual cup drivers sometimes.
And practice getting on pit road, a lot. That's one thing I noticed. I will practice a lot going into pit road and get in there fast. Right. And I've noticed on some green flags, I'm like 5th or 6th. I go in there and I'm coming out 3rd, and I've gained 4 seconds on a guy.
Yeah.
And it was all just on that entry. So that's also where a lot of people...
Your pit stop, I think iRacing has a formula where your pit stop will go faster the closer you are to hitting the mark exactly on entry, on speed down pit road, and then getting into your box. I feel like there's got to be some kind of formula to, gain spots on pit road, if you will. I don't know, because I mean, I've ran multiple races at multiple different tracks in the same car at this point, and I've had good pit road entries, and it seems like your pit stop goes. And I'm not talking a life changing amount, maybe a 10th or two, but that 10th or two on some of our races is the difference between coming out 4th or 5th and coming out 10th.
Sometimes.
So,
yeah, if I championship race, if I could have had a faster pit entry, there's a good chance I could have came out in front of bar and played that air game that we played the whole game, the whole race.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, I think we've set the second half up the season. The second half, excuse me, English is hard. My Lord. The second half of the season is set up to be kind of fun, I think. I think you got some weird races, Pocono, Milwaukee was interesting last season. I think I wrecked both of the leaders going a lap down at Milwaukee last year.
Ew, don't do that.
I mean, just trying to go and looping it in front of them and all kinds of fun stuff. Talladega bye week for Memorial Day, Martinsville. That's a sentence that makes you want to cringe a little bit.
It's so fun. I love that track.
Martinsville?
I mean, yeah, every time I race it, and especially with AMP.
Yeah.
Now, officials, it's a little different.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be pacing the whole time. But man, I can run pretty tight with a lot of these guys in this league and trust them. And it just makes for some really fun racing. Nice little bumping here and there and just tight.
Yeah, man.
It's fun.
I remember last AMP race, I used Davis as a brake, and then I think you used me as a brake.
It'll happen.
It was at the end of the race. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if it was me that threw you off or what, but obviously I wasn't slowing down. I was trying to, but we just went in the corner and I'm going to hit him, and I did. I hit Davis and then Steven hit me and I'm like, there we go.
Yep.
And good times.
It'll be interesting. I think Bristol too will be interesting with the changes they made to the incident points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The admins.
Well, I mean, it won't. I don't think it'll be that much different. I think a worst case scenario, you might get some DQs.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, the incident limit before a penalty is 17, right? It was 18.
Right.
So, I mean, honestly, you're probably not going to hit 17 without hitting 20. To be honest with you, because you get a 4x here, 4x here, 4x.
No.
So, I mean, the one point between the 17 and 18 really doesn't matter to me that much. But yeah, you might get some DQs. Hopefully, it's not of us.
Hoping I can get out front, stay out front. I don't want to be
Right.
back there at all.
Stay
Don't
up
want to be
there.
in any traffic at all at Bristol. I mean, it's at least the corners are drivable side by side.
Mhm.
It's not like you can't do it.
Yeah.
So at least there's that. And you can fit 3.
You can.
Just not necessarily going down the straightaway into the next corner.
It's sketchy and it's fast. It's the world's fastest half mile, right? So
I gotta remember to blink. I end up just staring when I'm there because I just kid.
I do that almost everywhere.
My eyes will start crying. I'm like,
I do that almost everywhere. Like, matter of fact, I was watching one of the older races. I went through watching a lot of old races this last week because there's no racing going on. So I just watched a bunch of our old ones. And there was a couple that I was doing an interview, and you can see in the interview, I start doing this, I look like I'm crying. I ain't crying. My eyes hurt.
I made it to
I just ran all the way, and I don't think I blinked once.
I'm in the booth. I'm in the waiting room.
Guys like me get excited about Talladega. It's one of those races where I feel like
guys like me aren't.
That's okay.
Kind of sad I'm missing Talladega.
No.
Steven pushed me for 14 laps at Talladega once.
Well, that was nice of you. I want to push somebody else.
The first times I ever led laps at Talladega, I had Steven right behind me the whole time.
Yeah, then you just pulled off.
Well, I didn't pull off. No.
I seen you go down below the apron.
No, I got.
I'm thinking of another race.
I got invited by a car behind me to pull to the left.
Who was the guy behind you?
It's not worth it.
It's worth it to me.
It's not worth it.
Poke the bear. Poke it.
Nah.
Poke it.
Nah, man.
There you go.
This is a podcast.
It's a win.
I understand it's a podcast, but you're also an admin.
Well,
so are a handful
I'm not
of
going to
people.
do anything. Steven's an admin.
All in favor of racing this angle. All right, now go to his cockpit. Now go to his cockpit. Did he brake? Oh, there it goes.
Now, that particular race, they put together an outside line.
Yeah.
I had 2 cars drop in front of me. I got a push going into the corner. I was going to absolutely steamroll. I think it was either Davis or Aaron had dropped down in front of me. And so I lifted, went to about 3/4 throttle. Yeah, I was asked to leave the track to the left, so I did. And then that race somehow, someway, went green the whole race. And I lost the lead lap. I lost the lead draft, I should say. I think I finished that race 1 lap down, just riding behind everybody once they got by me again.
Dang.
So.
Good old drafting tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And you look forward to that.
I do.
I do not.
Because when it doesn't go wrong like that, I'm usually in the top 5.
I will be in the top 5. I guarantee you, I will find a way to get in the top 5 before the race is over. But something's going to happen, and I'm going to get in it. Because that's just the
last couple of super speedways I've been there. I finished 4th in the stage at Daytona to open the season, and then just ended up, bad pit choice on 1 caution, and the rest of the race was history after that. But I like Talladega. Looking through kind of the playoff schedule here, I think Dover will have, if I'm not mistaken, Dover will have the same package that we have at Bristol this weekend as well.
Probably
pretty close.
So.
I think Dover will be very slip slidey, similar to Nashville Super Speedway.
Race the track.
Looking forward to that.
Race the track.
Yes, sir.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is another one. I think that's a coin flip track, depending on the weather model that they select for it. Yeah, I mean, so I've looking through some of these tracks. I've never raced at New Hampshire. I've never raced at Road America. Done it in a cup car.
New Hampshire?
Yeah, I was gonna say, not New Hampshire.
I've never raced Road America before, but
I've raced Road America and GT.
Yeah, I've never even done that.
I think I've done that.
Y'all raced New Hampshire last season, but I was not there for that one. Another wild card
track.
What's that?
It's a fun track.
I think
you'd like it.
Flat.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little, nice. It's probably gonna be a lot of wrecks. Let's be honest. Chop Shop has a lot of wrecks in New Hampshire. That's their kryptonite track. I don't
Kinda
know
like
why. I don't know why. I don't think it's that hard of a track,
right.
but
You're also really good at throttle control and keeping your tires underneath your car, so maybe that
yeah,
helps.
but Chop Shop's got a lot of 4 and 5 KI rated drivers who you would think would be just as good, if not better.
Right.
So but yeah, they can't seem to figure that place out.
I just don't run officials anymore, so
I don't either.
I don't remember the last time I ran a NASCAR official.
Well, before I got in any leagues, I was just running officials, and then Muscarella was like, "Hey, you want to get in this league with me?" I was like, "Sure." He's like, "The cap's at 2,500." I'm like, "Oh, I'm like at 2,470." It's like, so I was like, "Well,
I mean,
I
that's
guess I have to quit racing officials."
That's within the thing.
Yeah, it was right within it, and then ever since then, I've ran maybe 4 or 5, and I've wrecked probably all of them.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is with officials, I'll get an official, and I try to be respectful. I try to give people room, and if they want to go by, just go, see you. I'll see you again, but I won't see him again because they'll just wreck me. Yeah, then it's not like, all right, well, I'll see you next week, sir, because I'll never see him again.
You'll never see him again.
I can tell you right now that come Saturday, I will be looking for Robert Dudley. I'm just kidding, podcast. I didn't say that. So this last Saturday, I was running good.
I might just have to try racing
making a
Saturday.
list.
I mean, I have a list of people who I just don't trust. And then I have a list of people who I really just want to find a decent opportunity to just throw them into the wall as hard as I don't know. I'm getting antsy now and turning in my chair.
Make them loose. Make them loose.
Yep. Yeah, on the Xfinity?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'll do it there. Come on, Dudley. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not going to do it.
Just in case anybody's listening to this.
Just in case anybody's listening, I'm not going after that fucker.
No, man. Congrats, Steven, on your win. I think win is a gross understatement of what that was.
I mean, it was only 3 seconds. I mean, that's not a ton of time.
Yeah, it's only a 3-second lead after 60 laps on the same tires at Nashville Fairgrounds. That's all.
But to be fair, Ethan had to race people.
Yeah, he did.
This is true.
And I didn't.
This is true.
And then every restart, he had to race people again.
That's right.
And I didn't. I got really good.
I find
good
irony
restarts.
Themselves in really good positions, and that you were in the lead, which is a really good position to be in.
Yeah.
So
especially at a track like that.
Less you have to battle, and you can just kind of chill out. It's like in the heat race for me. I mean, I just kind of pulled away from everybody. Until we had that guy bring out that caution. It was looking like I was going to win it. If there would have been a caution, whatever happened in that heat race to me very well could have been happening to Steven.
Yeah.
I mean, and I say this because obviously, Steven, you're a great driver. I just don't want your head to get too big. I don't want you to come. I just don't want you to come out here with a super huge ego.
No.
Kobe's trying to give you that ego. I don't want you to have that ego.
No. I put in the time since I haven't been working. I put in the time. I've had the time. And now that I have 2 good hands and I can actually race fully with my right hand and not be in pain afterwards, it's kind of nice to be able to get back to 2 hands.
Yeah. When do you get to go back to work?
Probably the end of April.
Thank God.
So about 2 more weeks.
Get out of your fucking simulator, Steven.
He's living in that thing right
now. I've been practicing endurance race mainly.
I'll tell you what though, those road courses though, especially the really tough ones, like the ring, is I'm sure is helping everywhere else in your iRacing.
For sure.
Especially on tracks like when you go to a place like Nashville Fairgrounds where a lot of people struggle, and you just kind of attacked it just like it's just another track, It's just another track, another day at the office.
You just gotta find the lane and figure out how to save the tire as much as possible. But that's bit me in the ass though before. Saving too much?
Yeah, me too.
Do you think that finding your apex of the corner means less if you have a proper trail brake and drive off?
I mean, each car drives different.
Right.
for sure. So I would say the racing line is kind of the racing line. Let's see, how do I want to word this?
It's got to be a little different, I would think. It's so
I
much
mean, it
heavier.
definitely is different, but always hitting the apex and getting exit is key, especially when you have a long straight. You got to focus on those corners to get a good exit, not
Right.
so much on your entry. You can be slower on your entry and only lose a little bit of time. But if you're slow on exit, you're going to lose a lot of time.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, those GT3 races that we had, in the AMP, those races that we had going on.
Yeah.
That helped my road course program a lot. Like I couldn't drive a road course to save my life, but we ran those, and man, I ran second place at the Roval in the Chop Shop Xfinity a month ago or whatever it was. Like I'm like I'm in the interview like I'm not supposed to be up here. Like this is Tyler Lemon finished behind me. Winker, those guys, they're behind me. The only guy that beat me was Blake Dudley, and I was running him down by two seconds a lap at the end of the race because he used up his shit. So
see, learning how to trail brake and your techniques on a car that stays to the ground and is meant more for a road, not necessarily a stock car, I think you can learn more. It's hard. I feel like it's harder to trail brake in the cup cars. I mean, it's a fine line of being on that brake and turning that car.
Yeah, you'll just spin yourself out.
Yeah. So practicing, I feel like if you do practice in like a GT3 or even a GT4 Porsche Cup, something a little slower, but it's made to stick to the ground, you can probably learn your techniques better, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's good advice. I'd say.
Because you can find, because you want to be able to oversteer the car and you want to be able to understeer the car. You want to be able to make it spin out and you want to be able to make it push. So then you can find the right brake to get the greatest lateral grip you can get. And if you can't make it spin out or push, there's a good chance that you're not going to be able to find that sweet spot for that car.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's how I go into even just about any oval race. I'll tell you what I like to do is I like to drive it as hard as I possibly can until I crash, and then I back it down, and then I drive it just a little bit less and see if I crash, and I keep going down until then. That's where I know what I can and can't do with the car, and then I'll get hard on the gas. I'll do certain tricks, like I'll have a lot of rear brake instead of front brake, and it turning in, it will like slide the back end out, turning into the turn. And then, as soon as I find the grip, about midway through the turn, I'll get at least 50% throttle, if not 75, just to try to help it turn even more so I can get like a straight line off. You know what I mean? Try to steer the car with my rear tires, like more or less trying to steer with my feet just as much as I am my steering wheel. You know what I mean? That's some decent tire saving techniques. If you can wear the rear tires just as much as the fronts, then it really doesn't matter how much you're wearing the tires, because as long as the rear tires are wearing just as much, you'll be able to keep that speed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, usually when you can put them more on the rear, you're going to do a little less on the front. So that's that one, last couple races ago, I don't remember the track. But I used the brake a lot because, I mean, you killed the right front immediately. But you could not, Iowa, you could not tear up the rear. So that's why I just tried that off-the-wall stuff to try to actually get that tire to wear. And it took some pressure off that front. So it's definitely a good technique to try to get it to spin out, work it back.
Right. I mean, that was a frustrating track for me. I mean, my right front would be at like 40 and my right rear is at 90.
90.
It's like, come on, man.
I got to come down all the way to almost 60.
See that? I would have loved to been able to do that. See, I mean, and I got, people in my Discord like say, how is he doing this? How is he able to run for this long and be that fast? And I mean, I was saying, he's probably got some off the wall freaking setup that he figured out, those are things you got to play with those things, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm trying to teach myself to play with that. I played with it a little bit going into Nashville. I think helped me out a lot.
Man, if anybody ever wants to practice, send me a message, man. I'm always down to get in there and help anybody out if you're having trouble at a track or if you want to get some road course practice in.
Absolutely.
I'm
I feel
always
like
down.
I'd have to start paying you a monthly fee.
Hey, you could be the amp coach, amp racing coach. Yeah. Steven's helped me. He's helped. You've given me advice on road course racing. That's helped me a lot. You told me, like certain parts of the track, just go. You could go wider out. Even though like the rumble strips or whatever. I guess maybe it's paint or whatever. I don't know. But they would be like right here, but the rest of the track's all the way out here, and you'd be like, just go on out there. It's still racetrack, so it'll help
Find
your
the
entries.
limits.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I'll try that.
I think there's a lot of speed to be found in those kinds of places, and especially at places like Watkins Glen when it comes to road courses.
Absolutely.
If you take the drive off and let the car travel, because I'm guilty of like, okay, the curb is here, and if my tire goes over that, like I feel like I'm breaking the rules or something, And in GT3s and stuff, if you get into any of those kinds of actual official races, if your left
You're
tires
on
go
'em.
over the curb, it's a legitimate penalty. But like Steven said earlier, like those cars are built to stick to the ground, so they don't need that. But when you race Watkins Glen and you race it like in like the NASCAR discipline, there's next to no track limits except for the bus stop.
Yeah.
And even the bus stop, the track limits are
I think turn 1.
and turn 1. Well,
If you
no,
go
I think
over.
you can still travel out on turn 1, can't you?
A little bit, but not much.
I don't know.
I think
ran
you
in
gotta keep-
in GT3
I think in
strips.
NASCAR you got to keep 2 tires on the right side of the curb in turn 1.
Yeah, that's what sucks, because some parts, especially a place like Watkins Glen, some areas of the track will let you do it, and then other areas won't. You just gotta know.
Usually it's in
where
the
you
info. If there's like
Yeah.
certain parts that have
Yeah.
a certain limit, they put it in the info of the track.
That's true. But then you got to read, I'm here to drive, man.
I love like the bus stop to carousel transition, if you want to call it that, at Watkins Glen. I feel like if you can get good at that 500 to 600 yards right there, I mean, honest to God, I feel like you can find almost a second to lap if you can be good at that.
Turn 1 and the bus stop. 2 important parts. Just because of the long straightaway after turn 1.
When RB and I were shooting a little bit of the promo video that he plays before the podcast goes, and we did a couple of laps at Watkins Glen, and this was, it was shortly after the new update with the horsepower and the everything and the body style and all that. We were going up towards the bus stop, and in the video, like I'm behind RB going into the bus stop. I was like, hey man, this may or may not be the right shot for this, but I'm going to stay on your bumper and I want to see if this works. And I was able to stay on his bumper through there, and I finished the rest of that lap, and I've 100% honest with you, beat my best lap at Watkins Glen in a Next Gen Cup car by almost 7 seconds.
Nice.
That's how bad I was there for the longest time.
Huh? I always felt like you were a decent road course guy.
Oh, I am awful. Watkins Glen specifically. The problem is I try to race it in the Cup cars, and then I'll go race it in a GT3 or something like that. And the boot always confuses me, just because I've watched Watkins Glen as the NASCAR Cup Series set up for so long.
Yeah, you fly through there. You don't slow down.
Yeah, so that's the part that confuses me the most. We appreciate you, Steven. Thanks for sticking around and waiting. We do this every week. Why don't you go ahead and get us started with your shout outs, brother?
Yeah, just want to thank you guys for doing this. I think it's pretty cool to get a chance to talk strategy and give out some tips and stuff. I like it. Give a shout out to my family for letting me down here on a Monday night after I was just down here last night. And I'll probably be down here another night this week. But she loves me. So I want to just thank them. And my main sponsor for AMP, Raceline Skate Company. Get out there and check them out.
All right.
I'll coattail off the family thing. This is a lot more fun when there's people that watch. You know what I mean? My kids get into it. My son will come in here after a rough race. And a couple weeks ago at Iowa, he literally came in and said, "Dad, I'm sorry that you sucked today." And I was like, All right, cool. Thanks, dude.
Sorry,
I know
you
Aaron's going to
suck.
hear this, so part of me feels bad, but he's like, it's okay, Dad. Aaron wasn't good today either. And I was like, no, Aaron ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what happened to Aaron. He didn't suck. He just was in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
He's like, what's that mean? And I was like, I don't know. I'll
It
explain
means
it
he
to you
sucked.
later.
To him, it means it sucked.
Yeah, poor kid. Shout out Stuff at Burgers, Black Creek Diesel, a couple of sponsors with me this season. Really appreciate them. Shout out to RB, say it every week. He does all of the hard stuff, the editing, the posting, the setting up these studio lobby things that we get in to do this. Without RB, this doesn't exist. I am literally just here to run my mouth and try real hard at that. And outside of that, I'd also like to make sure I shout out Race Wrap Guy. I have a paint scheme in my Discord chat with him that I have no idea how to apply. So,
Do you need help with that?
yes, all of the help. He was going to
Yeah.
help me, but
Is
I
it a
think he's had
TGA
some
file?
things going on. I don't know how to do that,
Just
but
send
I appreciate him taking the time to do that for me. It looks dope as shit, and I cannot wait to run that car. I'll probably save it for a race down the line a little ways. I think I got one in mind that I'd like to run it at, but really appreciate Race Wrap Guy coming on board with us. Also want to shout out to Ryan Went, a big helper of the podcast as well, and we appreciate him and everything he's done for us. And with that, I will kick it to RB to get us the hell out of here.
Yeah, man. Well, before I do that, I gotta do my little read here because it's cool. So, does your iRacing car currently look like it was sponsored by a Minecraft paint and poor decisions? We got good news. Race Wrap Guy can fix it. With real-world NASCAR wrap design experience, Race Wrap Guy creates clean, aggressive, professional custom wraps that actually look like they belong on a Sunday broadcast instead of the back row of a rookie lobby. And because we like you people, listeners of the Cool Down Lap podcast can get $10 off any iRacing wrap. Just mention the podcast when you order. And if you got a real race car that needs to look fast, even when it's sitting still, you'll get $100 off any real race wrap design as well. Just mention the podcast. That's all you got to do. So stop showing up on the grid looking like a yard sale sign. Let Race Wrap Guy make your car look like it actually belongs there. Yes, sir, Race Wrap Guy. He painted Steven's car. It looks great. You probably saw it on a thumbnail when you clicked on this video. If you'd like to get it, it's got the new car. So if you want to get a hold of him, his link will be in the description. Facebook, facebook.com/racerapguy. Very easy, So yeah, anyway, his link is in the description. Also, you can check us out Sunday nights, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Signature Esports on YouTube and Twitch. Anything else? Thank you to everybody out there listening. Last video got almost 90 views, which is more than just amp people. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's righteous.
That's awesome.
Let's see if we could keep that growing.
Thank y'all for listening, man. Hell yeah!
Thank everybody for showing up, and yeah, hopefully we can keep this thing going.
See who emerges at Bristol.
That's
Shows
right.
up next Monday.
It's gonna be a fun one.
Ready for that?
Gonna be a fun one.
And with that being said, see you all next week.